Good morning, everyone. I hope you're doing well today. I'm Taffany, and I want to welcome you into my garden. This is Tika's Gardens, and that is Tika. Well, I am in Spring, Texas, Zone 9B, and I call this climate a semi-tropical climate. It's warm year-round, a couple of days of frost, humid, extremely humid, and hot. So the summer times can be pretty difficult for growing, and I find that my garden looks better in the fall, going into winter and the spring. Summer it kind of lags and struggles, but I'm trying to figure out how to change that so I can have a gorgeous garden in the summer as well. And this garden is new, and you saw me do the path the last video, so it has come very far from where it started. It was a garden with a lot of problems when we moved in. There was nothing here but dirt, moss, a little bit of grass, no plantings whatsoever, a huge tree in what is now the vegetable garden that literally covered almost all of the backyard, and it had spider webs just hanging all in it. It was, oof. And yeah, lots of drainage issues. It held water like crazy. And as I've worked on this garden, I have found drains that were here for who knows how many years. So I've, made them accessible, made sure that water was running through them and out, into the street where the piping goes to. So everything does look like it's working, and I have not had any major drainage issues, but just kind of making the design so that it's pretty and it functions for what the problems are in it. So this walkway is functional, but done in a way that looks very good. So everything I do is for function, to deal with the drainage issues and all that, but to make it pretty. So because to deal with the issue would require someone to come in here and dig, and I don't think that's necessary. We have the drains and things here, and plants and the grass and all that stuff can help with all that, so we don't have to go that far. Saves money, and it's doing it practically. But we are going to do some planting in this long border back here. It's coming along, and everything looks so much better with the gravel. The gravel adds color to the yard, and it gives the flowers something to pop off of. So I'm loving it. So let me show you the collection of plants that I have that we're going to be planting today. Alright, so I have this collection of plants back here, so let me show you what I have. So while I was gone on vacation, my lovage just disappeared. Literally, it's just not there. So I got another one. This, again, is an herb. It grows 4 to 6 feet tall, and it is a combination of the taste of celery and parsley, but it has a stronger flavor to it when you're cooking. So I have this. I lost some of my red verbena in the bedroom garden, so I have some more to replace that. I lost 4 of them, so that's what I have here for. This is a Rudbeckia called Denver Daisy, and these are so pretty. Now, I don't think I'm going to put these in the long border back there because I already have 3 other Rudbeckia, but I do think it would be gorgeous here in the front, because this front section I haven't worked on. So when you first come in the garden, it would be nice if it was just something bright, cheerful, smiling at you. So I think that's going to go here in this front part. And this is a Cleome called Silo Magnet or Silo Magnet, and It says it gets 3 to 4 feet tall. It says that it's an annual, but it drops seeds, drops lots of seeds, so that your next season you're not likely to have to plant another one because it will be seedlings to grow. We're gonna see, but this one is gonna go back near the bird bath where I have Rebecca and the sombrero coneflower. So we've got the Cleome, very pretty. Oh. And I do want to show you, look at how the flowers look. The flowers are like a two-tone pinkish lavender color. Just so pretty. I lost the tag for this one, so I'm not sure what it is, but it has these yellow flowers on it that are like trumpet shaped. So I'm gonna have to see if I can figure out what this is. The tag fell out, but it was pretty. It was blooming when I purchased it, and as you can see, it's got some more buds on it. I have another kind of salvia. There's a few salvias in the yard already. This one is called Grandstand Lavender, and it says it gets up to 18 feet high. So look at that, that's very pretty. This is another salvia, and it was actually on the clearance table, and it is called Salvia Amigo. It is an Amigo salvia, and here is what the flowers look like on it, and it is big. And this was on clearance. Can't believe it. Also on clearance, I got another dwarf euonymus. So that will go into the back long border to pair up with the one that is over on the side where all the herbs are. So it kind of balances. So I have to prune it up. As you can see, it's looking kind of rough, but we're gonna see if we can bring some life into this. Also on clearance, a frost-proof gardenia. And you can kind of see the back. The back there is struggling. There's an airplane overhead. Hang on. All right, it's going in the other direction. So you can see the back is struggling. So I'm gonna put this in the courtyard garden along that back fence where the hanging baskets are. And I already have 3 other frost-proof gardenias that I planted a month ago or so, so you can kind of go back and look at that video. These get about 4 feet tall, so I have them back at the bedroom garden where they will form a hedge to kind of make that space private. And last, I have a hibiscus which is going along the fence for the vegetable garden, and this one is called Double Peach. It is Double Peach. So that print is so small I have to struggle to look at it. But it's a really good size. It has a couple buds on it already. So these are the things that I have. This was a lot of these things were clearance. A few were not, but a large number of them were clearance. And as you know, anybody who has been gardening with me, you know I look for as much clearance as I can. So we're gonna start in the back border. We're gonna see what we can get planted this morning. I am going to also show you one of my morning routines where I kind of clean out the or dump out the water in the ant moat for the hummingbird feeders, and I replace it with new water. And I'm also, once I'm done, I'm gonna water the garden, and I'm gonna show you how I use that ImoLaza control panel, because now that I have been using it for a while, using the app for it, it has been working great. So I'll show you a little bit of that, you know, as far as how that is working, how I use the app to water, because I don't really have it set. I have a scheduled program set in it, which you will kind of see from these clips here that I'm showing you, just showing you how I program it, you know, some of the features in it. You can see, you know, the first page shows you the date, the weather, and below you can see your water usage. And, you know, as you go to other pages, you can set up your zones. You can add your own photos for your zone, so you'll know what part of your garden is in that zone. And then you have also in the settings where you can you know, do a quick run. You don't have to actually use the program. You can set the program and have it turned on or turned off. I set my program for Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. That was like the setting that was on the old system when we first moved in, and I've just kind of used it like that. No particular reason for those days. One thing I do like about using those days is my neighbor is on opposite days, so some of his water kind of comes into the backyard back there where the bedroom garden is and helps to water in between. So that's one of the reasons why I've kept it on to the Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. But I have it turned off, and what I plan on doing is using my programmed schedule for when I travel. I will set it to where it is every other day in cooler weather, and I'll have it watering maybe like 4 times a week when it's hotter like this, depending on the conditions. We've had a lot of rain this year, so I would just do a few days a week. If it was a drier year, I would have it set for every day while I travel. But the goal is to use the scheduled program that I set for when I travel, and I will just water what's needed with the app as needed. So first we're going to plant, and you kind of got an idea here just seeing me with the settings, adding my garden photos, setting up a scheduled program, and all of that. You know, you can see your water usage and tell it, you know, what is in that zone, if it's grass, if it's shrubs, perennials, is your grass warm weather grass, cool weather grass, all of those things when you set it up. So we're gonna go ahead plant, then I'll show you how I use it when I water. So let's get going. And by the way, I'm just telling you about this because I've been using it and I love it so much. It's not sponsored or anything. I just have really enjoyed it. So I just want to share with you how I use it in the maintenance of my garden. All right, so let's get some flowers and let's get planting. So before we continue on with the planting, I want to finish up showing you how this schedule is made. So you saw that you choose your days, how long you want this each cycle to run, and when you want the new schedule to start. Here I'm naming it just a regular water schedule. And after you've set everything up, you then have your schedule here under the schedules tab. And you can see that the schedule is on right now. You can turn it off. You can turn it on. So it is here to activate whenever you need to use it. You can also set up the zones. The zones are already pre-programmed into the system, and you just activate however many zones you have. We have 6 zones, so we have 6 zones activated. And as you see, there are pictures that are automatically in each zone. So you can take a photograph of your garden, each section of your garden, and upload your own photos into that particular zone so that you can recognize which zone that is, for your own purpose. You can leave the stock photos there or add your own. I'm choosing to add my own, and you see how this is done by just clicking on the photo. You can either choose to take photo, or you can choose a photo from your photo album, and then a photo of your own garden will appear for that specific zone within the app. I'm removing the yarrow from this little area here, and I'm going to replace it with the cleome. And I'm also going to be removing the yarrow on the other side of this long border, and I will be putting the large salvia in its place as well. So I decided to bring the salvia over here and put it in this little empty spot, since there is that space there right now. So I think I'm going to put that salvia there, and when I get over here, this little flower with the little trumpet style yellow flowers on it, I think I'm going to stick that right there in that little empty spot for now, which will be behind the little seedlings that I planted there of the pink salvia. So that's what I think I'm going to do with those. Just try to fill in as many spaces back here as I can, and as things mature, things can be moved. All right, let me plant the salvia, and then we're going to plant the hibiscus here. So what I did was I took one of these from the bedroom garden where the columnar ligustrums are growing. It's gonna cover up that post there as it grows, so this is not going to be necessary there, so I'm going to put it back here and use one of the hanging baskets that are doubled up on my garage and put it over here so I can balance this fence out. Okay guys, so I've got everything that I'm gonna get planted done today. So let me show you what's planted. Let's empty out the ant moats and refill them, and then I'll get the watering done because I don't want to water by hand today. I figured this is a good opportunity to show you using the app, plus I can get my plants that I just planted watered in as well. So let's walk through the garden, starting back here in the courtyard garden, and let me show you what everything looks like. All right, well guys, this is the back bed in the courtyard garden. I put the frost-proof gardenia here after I pruned it, and then I have the variegated liriope grasses and the onions, which, as you know, have a tall white flower that is really pretty and smells real nice, and it's kind of a lacy like textured flower. Here are the hanging baskets. I will step back in a minute so you can get a full-on view, but that is this bed, and the liriope grasses of course have white flowers on them, as you can see in there on that one and this one, and the taller white flowers from the onions will grow later in the summer, so that looks very pretty. And again, that gardenia grows 4 feet tall and wide, so it will give it a good little height here without being too big. It will add a nice splash of green to that wall. And look at my lantana here, guys. This is the same lantana that they had at the butterfly farm in Aruba. So pretty. But let me step back so you can get a full-on view. So I took the pink basket that was hanging from the bottom of that white one, and I put it on the wall back there. So very pretty. I'm loving it, guys. It looks really nice. So now that we're outside of the courtyard garden, let me show you this before I show you the stuff that we planted. This section right here is my little rehabilitation center. These are things that didn't fare so well during the week that I was gone. This is the bergamot bee balm, so I'm trying to rehab it. This is the verbena that had that peachy pink color, more peach than pink, and that is one of my pink pentas. And this one is starting to, it has perked up, not starting to, but it looks good. That is a Rebecca. But let's turn around. You can see the honeysuckle is really doing great here and starting to climb up. And so is the clematis on this side. Let's see, there's one, there's another one. I'll get the ties for that. But let's step back. And let's focus on the stuff that we planted. So the Asclepia that was in the back courtyard garden that I put here before I left for vacation, personal / vacation, is there with this salvia in front of it. So that looks very nice. And I have right in front of the echinacea, the purple coneflower, the dwarf euonymus, my unknown flower, and of course behind it is a Rebecca. And these are the seedlings of the salvia that I brought over here from near the gate as you come into the backyard. So as you can see, they've grown, they're blooming, they're doing great. And we will come along here. This is the other seedling that is doing great. We've got the color of those items there. We've got behind it, of course, the sombrero coneflower, the Rebecca. This is so pretty there. And it's a good height as well. So we've got that planted. Right next to it is the dwarf euonymus that was here already, and the purple salvia that we planted. Over here is the lovage. And last, but definitely not least, is the double peach hibiscus. So that is everything that's been planted. And let me show you guys this. My neighbor's sprinkler is going off today. Today is a Tuesday and not a Wednesday like it would usually do, but you can kind of see it coming in through the fence. So it tends to water these flowers over here, and it's actually spraying me as it comes through, but it tends to water these flowers for me. So as you can see that, so I get a little extra help from my neighbors. Next time I get out, I'll be replacing these dead verbena and working back here in the bedroom garden to get up all the weeds that grew while I was out. So here is the newest hummingbird feeder. I'll swing around. There's the other one. And there's the third one there. So we're going to get these ant moats emptied out and refilled with water. And then we'll get the plants that we got in the ground today watered. And that will be it for today. By doing that, it prevents mosquitoes from having larvae in there and having more mosquitoes than the already 100 million that we have here in Texas. So that's how I do it. I just take it, dump the water out, put fresh in. So let's get the other two done and let's get these flowers watered. Alright guys, so my neighbor has some work being done and there's some noise in the background, so apologize for that. But I'm gonna go ahead and do the watering. So let me show you how that works. So I'm gonna open up my app and it brings me into this main home page here, and on the home page it shows you the weather, any water usage for that day. This little symbol here in the middle is if you want to do any quick runs, you can restart it. But here on this page is where you saw me create the schedule. This is the schedule that I created, which is called regular water schedule, and all 6 zones are set up and it's set scheduled to start at 6 a.m. But you just use this plus sign to create a new schedule. Here is where the zones are set up. I have started adding my pictures to it. As you can see, pictures of my yard. I have to do the rest, but we're gonna water the backyard today, specifically where I planted. So I'm gonna hit the zone for that, and I'm going to do quick run, and quick run is automatically set for 5 minutes. So you can see you can change the time up or down, and then you hit run and it takes you to the page where you can hit the play button there. It's like a play button for a recorder, and the sprinklers are going. So let me take you around and show you the sprinklers running. Oh, and you can always stop with that square button over there. So that is stop, and then there's a pause button if you need to pause the watering, which we're not going to do. So you see this main page, it's showing how much water is coming up, 6-7%, so on and so forth. The water usage over the previous days are showing up down there now. So today it's showing that it is July 1st. So that is how you run this. So as you can see, it is running here in the vegetable garden, and you can see the rocks are getting wet over here, so I'm not going to walk into the water, but these sprinklers are watering back there, and it actually comes all of the way out to here where this section is here, so it comes out to there. So we have it running all of the way over here and then back in this section as well, in the courtyard garden. Okay, now I'm going to water the main area of the garden. And that is because it hasn't been run since I've been back home, and I've been home for like a week now, and because there's been so much rain. But we're gonna run it, let it go for 5, hit run, and start. And the reason I am back here is because these are our rotary sprinklers. And as you can see, I don't want to be standing in the middle of the yard for those. All right, guys, well, that is it for today. I want to thank you for being in the garden with me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.